Hey guys, getting on Campionato TV here. I assure you this will be my last bit of content on this topic related to the USA versus Italy U20. So naturally, I see what's going on in the internet, and there's people that obviously they like the U.S. soccer and the U.S. men's national team, and that's great. I respect that. I just want to show you guys the type of things they're saying, and some of it I agree with it, but some of it is just exactly that, and it's nonsense if you ask me, and this is why there's people out there that want to see U.S. soccer fail, because the minute something good happens in U.S. soccer, whether it's a youth team or men's team, senior team, people like this will go and bash the other team and say all this ridiculous stuff. So here we go.
United States of America 3, Italiano 0. Ciao to the Italians. They're out of the World Cup. Expect you to be proud, just like our boys made us proud today. A solid win in which we not only outplayed Italy, we dominated the game from beginning to end. 2 goals from Ben Kremaski and a gorgeous free kick. Gorgeous free kick by Nico Shakiris. These boys have made us proud in this tournament.
All right off the bat, you hear that USA crushed Italy. And again, I'm not trying to make any excuses. That's what I hear, making excuses, this and that. The ball's round, anything can happen in soccer. If you don't know that, then you don't know football. But anyways, USA crushes Italy. And yeah, if somebody saw the score line, they'd probably say, yeah, the Italy won, USA won convincingly. But if you watch the game, you will know that USA, they scored on a corner kick. They were squandering in front of the goal, and they scored. The second goal was a free kick, and it wasn't even a foul. I don't even understand why they didn't look at it in VAR. And the guy made nice free kick. Congrats to him. And then the last goal, I mean, if you want to count that, go ahead. I mean, they're trying to score a goal, pushing people forward, things like that happen. What's the point? You lose 2 or 3. So I wouldn't say that USA crushed Italy. Go look at the stats. I just posted them. They had similar shots. Italy had more corner kicks, the possession. So if you want to think they crushed them, then go ahead. But again, taking nothing away from them. They won the game. Great. Congratulations.
For me, this is from Santi. My guess is a Mexican player or a Mexican fan. Or maybe not. He calls himself we. For me, the U.S. hasn't proved themselves yet. Because we won against France that didn't bring their best players, Italy, anyone can beat Italy.
So that wasn't a comment by, one of the content creators, but, one of the people that are talking on their podcast or sending them a message saying that anybody could beat Italy. Really? Take a look at those results. All right, that's the U20 and the national team results. If you look at the U20, they play pretty tough teams. England, Germany, all the tough, big, big, strong teams. And if you guys don't remember, I believe it was Argentina, the U20, they made it all the way to the World Cup in Argentina, World Cup final. They lost to Uruguay, but they made it to the final. So just a reminder. And then regarding the senior team, take a look at the results. Yeah, they've had some, losses against Norway, Germany, Argentina, England, Spain. hey, what are you going to do? They're really good teams, man. You know, I'd rather play teams like that than, no offense, but, you know, the teams in CONCACAF. Sorry. You know, I iron sharpens iron, okay? So, again, I don't agree with that anybody could beat Italy. I don't think so. Italy's, you know, ranked number 10 in the world in the FIFA rankings. I honestly think they should be higher than that. If you took an average of the CONCACAF teams, I mean, I think the only teams that are like in the top 20 are Mexico and USA. The other ones, so anyways, don't agree with that.
Bookshit Game Central says Camarda, Italy's wonder kid striker, just now finally got his first Serie A goal after like 20 appearances. Italy is cooked. If that's your best prospect, it's sad. It really is sad. And it's fun watching Italy be good at a World Cup. So it is sad. But I think what Italy needs to take a hard look at is their youth development model and go, why are we not succeeding?
Let me ask you one thing, though. Who has a better senior national team right now, Italy or the US?
Italy.
Yeah, that's
yeah. But we're not comparing Italy to the US. We're comparing Italy to their former selves.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking about the Italy that, you know, from 2000, from 98 until 2006, that Italy was an amazing team.
Yes, Francesco Camarda is one talent that Italy has, and he's on loan from AC Milan. I think he's 16 or 17 years old, and he hasn't played 20 games. Sorry, I mean last year for the senior team in AC Milan, he maybe had like a handful of chances to play, and he came in as subs, you know, for a couple minutes here and there. If you know football, you know it takes time to get into the game, so I would not count those games. Last year, he actually scored a goal, but it got canceled out because it was offsides. But this year, he got loaned to Lecce, which is the last place team in Serie A, you know, and he scored a goal. Yeah, good for him. That's great for him. He is one of our top prospects, and that's not sad. He's highly regarded around the world as being you know, a hot up and coming prospect. So keep your eye out for him. You're right. Italy, the senior national team, is better than USA, but like I told you, the ball's round. You know, if you know they're competitive people, anything can happen in a game. And you are right. that you're not comparing, this Italy with the USA. You're comparing it with the teams from the 80s and the 90s. And yes, the current team, we don't have all, 2, 3, 4 players in a position deep like we did in the 90s and in the early 2000s and the 80s and stuff like that. But that's something to work on. We still have a world-class squad, but it's something to work on. But yes, Italy, the senior national team, is better than USA. Find me a player on the USA senior men's national team that will start on the Italian national team. Maybe one. Pulisic, he may have a chance to play on the Italian national team. And back to the Kamada thing, yes, he has one goal. I think they're like 3 games into the season. And again, he's playing for the worst team in Serie A. He can't do everything himself. He needs service. He needs a team. And, let the kid go. He is a hot prospect, though.
Going to be a USMNT player. USA and Mexico knocking out washed-up soccer nation. Okay, let's start with France. Completely different situations. France is
but Mexico Mexico knocked out Chile.
Sure. You could argue that Italy is kind of a washed-up soccer nation, and some Italians are going to get mad in the comments here. We won the Euros in a 2021. Listen. You didn't qualify for the last 2 World Cups. You still haven't qualified for this one. Even in 2010, you didn't even get out of your group.
And 2014.
Right? And 2014, you also didn't get out of your group. So let's be honest. And if you look at Italy, they're not developing players the way that they used to. Like, where are sure, they've got Chiesa, amazing player. Where are the Nestas? Where are the Pirlos? Where are the Gattusos? Where are the Vieris? Where are the Del Pieros? Where are the Inzaghis? Right? Even where are the Luca Tonis? Where are these guys? Cannavaros, Buffon. They have a very good goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. But Italy's not developing players the way that they used to. I think that Italian soccer got way into catenaccio and started teaching catenaccio, which is basically a very defensive game. Francesco Totti, where are they? I think they got too excited about catenaccio, and I think they started teaching catenaccio at the youth levels, and that became the emphasis. But the problem with catenaccio is it does not develop very good technical players, right? Kolyosha is in their under-21 team. But yeah, look, we can't get too excited, of course. We haven't done nothing yet that under-20 World Cup.
Italy, a washed-up soccer nation. Italy at this point, 99.9% of the countries in the world would die to be Italy today. But because at the current moment, we're not what we used to be, we're a washed up soccer nation. Can you guys believe that, man? A washed up soccer nation. Why is the best player ever created from US? I don't even say it's not even created by US, because Pulisic, he went to Europe and he played with Dortmund. But why is the best ever US player ever playing in Italy then? Why? The Serie A is statistically the second strongest league in the world. Go look at the UEFA coefficient. It's just comical. I believe the U17s, they won they're going to the World Cup later this year, but they won the Euros a little while ago. The U20s, they went to the World Cup final in Argentina. The senior team, they won the Euros in 2021. I would love to see any CONCACAF team win a Euro. Guys wouldn't even get out of the group. USA, they can't even get out of a group in a Copa America tournament with who was it? Panama. I forgot who else was in their group. But a washed up soccer nation. The disrespect is just off the charts. What you're saying were these players like Cannavaro, Nesta, you guys clearly don't pay attention to Italian football. You know, do your research. Yeah, there isn't a Cannavaro, there isn't a Nesta. Those are probably the best defensemen ever, along with Paolo Maldini and these guys for Italy. But there is an Alessandro Bastoni, Buongiorno. Bastoni plays for the Champions League finalist Inter. Buongiorno, he plays for Italian champions Napoli. Riccardo Calafiori plays for Arsenal. Giorgio Scalvini, he's a hot prospect with Atalanta. Camuzzo from Fiorentina. They got people that USA they would die to have those guys. Giovanni Leone plays for Liverpool. I think he's like 18 years old. Liverpool has him in the Champions League squad. So there's a lot of defensemen. Don't worry. Regarding goalies, we have the best goalie in the world, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Who else? Vicario plays for Tottenham. Who else? Alex Meret plays for the Italian champions Napoli. Carnesecchi plays for Atalanta. Is another fantastic goalie. The Premier League was looking for him. Midfielders. You're talking about Gattuso, Pirlo. Paul Scholes just said it last week that Sandro Tonali is the best midfielder in England. I think Paul Scholes knows something about being a midfielder. What about Barella? He's an $80 million central midfielder playing for Inter. Rovella, he plays for Lazio. Ricci. Fratesi plays for Inter. Ricci for AC Milan. So, you want to go to the wings? DeMarco, Cambiaso, Udogi. Strikers? Yeah, the strikers, we have up-and-coming prospects like Francesco Esposito, he plays for Inter. Camarda. Players like that. Right now we have Keane. Lorenzo Luca, Retegui. So, anyways, I agree with you 100%. This Italy of today isn't currently what we had back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, but it's something to work on. And like I said, these talents and these players, 99.9% of the world would take Italy's situation over anyone. And yes, we didn't qualify for the World Cup in 2018 and 2022. All right. I'll go back to it. Italy would qualify out of CONCACAF with their B team. Qualified in UEFA, it's back in 2018, they were in a group with Spain. They were at the time, like European champions, world champions, and they came in second. They went to a knockout with Sweden, and they lost aggregate 1-0. Sweden was a good team at that point. What are you going to do? It freaking happens. In 2022, I blame it on Roberto Mancini. They had 2 times to beat Switzerland in the groups. He let your Brazilian player, Jorginho, take 2 penalty kicks against Switzerland, and he missed them both. All they needed to do was win 1 game, and they went to a playoff with North Macedonia, and they couldn't put the ball in the net. If statistics won you the game, they killed them, but it happens. That's soccer. When you don't take your chances, you end up losing. So, anyways, this is the last I'm posting about this. I just wanted to show you what some of these American content creators are saying out there. And let me know what you guys think. Have a good day.